Hey Run Junkies, most of the US is facing some pretty cold temperatures, which has this nasty habit of derailing our fitness efforts through the holidays. The cold temperatures mess with our regularly scheduled runs and the habits that we formed during warm weather, and it makes it so much easier to just roll over and hit that snooze button repeatedly. It doesn't have to be like that though. In fact, if there was ever a time where it's a really good idea to keep up our fitness, it's during the holiday season. Between the holiday parties and the shopping and the stress and all of the food, if we ditch the fitness piece of it, it might create some problems for us later. So here are some of my tips for keeping up your running when the temperatures start to drop. First, evaluate the conditions and decide whether or not it's actually safe for you to run outside. Many times it's not just about what the mercury is doing, but also about the trail conditions. Dressing for the cold temperatures obviously means you have to start layering up. However, snowy or icy conditions might change either where you run outside or whether or not you should come inside to the treadmill. So we've decided to run outside, now we need to dress for it. I know runners who will stop at nothing to get their run outside, sub-zero digits and all. Kudos to you. I am not one of those people. Just as with running in the heat, you don't have to dress as warmly as you think you do because you will warm up as you run. Layer up, and if it's below freezing, cover your exposed skin. Start with a base layer of running tights and a long sleeve tech tee, then layer up from there with a fleece vest or a running jacket, and then a hat and gloves. Also, if you're running during daylight hours, don't forget the sunglasses and sunscreen, especially if there's snow on the ground. During the colder temperatures, I personally like the coverage and the warmth of compression socks, and I will typically wear something around my neck as well. Another tip, warm up before you run. Take that first mile and go very slowly. Cold muscles need more time to get into the groove, so please take some time pre-run and during the first mile of your run to ease into your workout. Check out this link right here for my pre-run silly toes from the Train Like a Mother Club. And really, we should be warming up every single time we go running, not just in the cold temperatures, but it's especially important to take the first 10 to 20 minutes of your workout to ease into it. After your run, change out of those wet running clothes and into something dry as soon as you possibly can. While it may be 20 degrees outside, you've still put in a good sweat session, which means that you're cold and wet. Cold and wet is a dangerous combination, so make sure you are changing your clothes as soon after your run as you can. Hydration is still a thing. It's always a thing. Don't skimp on your water and electrolyte intake just because you think you might not be sweating as much. For many of us, cold weather comes with dry conditions as well, so stay hydrated and drink up. Now, if it's just too cold and dark to run outside, consider your alternatives. Maybe conditions warrant you skipping your outside run. Accept it, embrace it, and look elsewhere for your workout. The obvious alternative to running outside is running on the treadmill. Now, while it's not everybody's favorite alternative, it does get the job done. Other alternatives for cardiovascular fitness include getting on the stationary bike or jumping in the pool, or maybe even trying that bar class that you've never tried before. The point is to get the workout in, not necessarily the way you would like to do it, but getting it done. Now, if you are going to run outside, I want to give you a quick note about icy conditions. Please be safe when running on uneven surfaces. Slipping on a patch of black ice or snowy patches can cause injury and derail your training for weeks, if not months. Check your pride at the front door when you walk out into the snow and ice, because you will have to slow down in order to be safe. Lastly, don't force it. Some days are just great days to take the day off, sit in front of the fireplace with some hot chocolate, and call it good. Take the option to rest. Let the snow and the ice pass through, and try again tomorrow. So those are my tips for running when the temperatures drop. What do you think? What are some of your favorite alternatives for running outside in the cold and icy conditions? Please leave your comments in the box below. Give me that thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe. We've got a lot of great things coming up this holiday season. But that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Get out there, go find your awesome. We'll see you next time, and until then, happy running.